of today is that farmers who've come along to the open day can go home with a bit more knowledge on how to understand cow signals, or start to understand cow signals, perhaps how to change a couple of things, not expensive things, but a couple of points at home that might be able to increase the cow comfort and also improve levels of animal health and welfare at home. And also the other services that Farming Connect can offer, the 80% funding on the animal health plans means that they can go home and take what they've learned today, take it home, work with their vets and move their own farms forward.
The cow signals concept is basically look, think and act. And the key thing is, by looking, we see all these signs every day, but we don't make any significance of them. What we've got to realise is that we need to learn to see what we're looking at, and then to think, is this good, bad, indifferent? If it's indifferent or bad, is there any way we can improve on it? And by doing small changes in the environment, we can have huge impacts on our cows. And also any lesions, any hair loss, any rub marks, any thick skin, any swellings, any discharges, that gives us an indication of where there might be pinch points in their environments.
Give us some examples then of the signs and what do they mean?
In this particular herd, there's a lot of cows with rub marks on their necks. And not only rub marks, but also hair loss, thickened skin along the necks. And that tells us that the neck rail in the feeding passage is probably either too low or too far back. So by adjusting that, we can easily give the cow more room to feed, and consequently she will eat more and produce more.
What about the cubicles?
The cubicles themselves, we can see how they stand in them, how quick they go and lie down, and these tell us how comfortable the bed is. If the cows are standing back from the cubicle, so their front feet are in the cubicles and the hind feet are in the passageway, it tells us something that is discouraging that cow from going in to lie down. And what we want to do is we want to encourage cows to lie down for 14 hours a day. We want to do this because it increases their milk production, and it also gives the time for a cow to rest and recover from all sorts of things that she does, and she does most of her rumination lying down. In Britain, I would imagine that on average cows will lie down for about 9 hours a day, but for every extra hour we can get her to lie down, she will produce an extra litre of milk every day, free, without any extra feed. So she's using the food that she's had more efficiently, having more time to chew it and cut it, and also resting. Not only resting the body, but also her feet. As a consequence of rest or lying down, her heart and her udder are roughly the same level. This increases the blood flow to the udder by about 30% and increases the amount of milk she will produce.
With regards to the size of the cubicles, how can you tell if they are, what are the signs that tell you that the cubicle is either too big or too small?
Ideally what we will find is that all the cows are lying in there, and you count the number of cows lying down as opposed to those standing up in the cubicle, and we're looking for a score somewhere between 80-85% and above lying down in those cubicles, and that will tell you that the cubicle itself is comfortable. Now there are other things as well, that if the cubicle is too short, there is no head space, the bed is too hard, or there's no bedding there at all, then this discourages the cows from lying down, and you'll see more cows standing, waiting to go to the beds. The tails hanging off the heelstone tells you that the bed itself is probably too short. Either the bed is too short, or the neck rail is so far back that they can't get into their beds. And you mentioned dunging on the heelstone. Now, if the bed is of the right length, the cow should be able to get up and stand before she defecates. If she defecates before she stands up, or before she finishes standing up, she's in distress. She's afraid or she's hurt from hurting herself while manoeuvring to get up. So what she should do, she should lunge forward, the back end raises, front leg goes forward, and she stands. Then she defecates. And in order for a cow to do that, she needs good firm grip, soft bed, plenty of room.
Very similar to the bedding she'd have outside.
If she was outside, what she'd have plenty of space. There would be no nothing there to impede her getting up, and also she would have good grip, sound floor and a soft floor, and this is what we want to try and mimic within the house.
And what's the perfect bedding then within the cubicles?
What I want to do is mimic the soil or the pasture, and the best copy that we've got at the moment is, I believe, is sand. We are working on systems which are composting the cow's own manure, composted and reusing that as a bed, because it probably would be more sort of environmentally friendly if we can reuse what we effectively create every day.
How valuable are days like these?
We find them very beneficial, especially to the home farm. Then, you invite in experts on the farm then to come and show you what you're doing wrong. Then basically, but hopefully they point us in the right direction. Then, and it's surprising how somebody's outside thoughts and opinions help the business quite a lot.
And discussing with other people, you find the strengths and weaknesses of other farms as well.
That's right. Yeah, and if people don't mind admitting the weaknesses as such, then that's how you learn. Then hopefully.
And today now, you've been assessing the herd to see the facilities you've got here and how you maybe need to adapt them to suit the cows. What are the main things that you've learned?
Well, we've been unsatisfied the last couple of years of how the cows have been walking, and so we decided to have a mobility scoring assessed, and we were looking at, and we weren't happy with the cubicle designs as such. So, but by expert advice then today, they showed that just a few little simple points of hopefully it should help us now. And
what are those key factors that you've learned?
The material that we used, the sawdust, was aggravating the feet more than what we were thinking as such. And there was one or two places where we could put rubber mat in. They were, if the cow was turning a sharp corner or something, there's extra strain on her body and her feet then. So possibly improving the rubber matting then, and putting some in place. And then the cubicles, then possibly making changes to the headrail positions just to make the cows more comfortable, give them a bit more loafing space and all. But we were quite happy with the width of the cubicles, because our cows, being British Friesians, are a bit smaller than, so you get the diagrams of how cubicles been set up. It's set up to a Holstein, but we've got to allow those couple of measurements for the British Friesians then, because they're slightly smaller breed then.
What are the main benefits of days like these?
Well, today you learn, as well as seeing, you actually learn it. You may read about things in papers, but until you actually do it properly, you don't maybe get the gist of it. The main thing I've learned is that you need to look about your farm, all around your farm, not just look at your cattle. You need to look at where they walk, how they walk, and what's most importantly underneath their feet, because that makes the biggest difference to a cow's foot.
And when you do these changes then, it's a great benefit to you economically as well?
Or benefits in every way. Your cow will last longer to start off with, your replacement rate isn't as high, you've got more milk, which at the end of the day is the most important thing for a dairy farmer.
And you've had some advice from Rob, the vet, before. What changes have you done on your farm personally?
Well, Rob's our own vet on the home farm, so over the last 2-3 years we've been increasing light levels in the sheds, decreasing stock numbers in the shed to give them more room, improving cubicle design and bedding materials, more water troughs. So just a few little ideas, and they all add up.
And have you seen an improvement in your herd?
Yes, definitely quite a major improvement really. Well, the cows are a lot more comfortable, milk yield's gone up, better fertility, just general well-being is better in the herd.
You've altered your herd from Friesians to Holsteins, but have you altered your facilities?
Not enough, no. It's just happened, gradually over the years. We haven't thought about altering the size of the cubicles, and something that we need to look at when I get home today. So
it's definitely been a worthwhile day for you today.
Yes, I think so. Hopefully I will come back again.
And the changes the farmers will have to do, will they cost a lot?
No. Some of the changes are very, very minimal. A lot of the changes just require a spanner or a screwdriver and moving an odd rail here and there, maybe a bit of welding to lift it or what have you, or even in some instances and just to bolt a plank along the a plinth along the heel stone, and then add the sand in, and that makes a huge difference to what she lies on.
And all these changes will actually have a huge effect on the business and on the cows.
It has a huge effect on the cows. It means that they're more productive, they're more likely to get in calf, they're less likely to become lame, therefore they live longer. So not only are your productions higher, your costs are lower, replacement costs are lower as well. So it's a win-win situation.